Hey, Renee.
Hi, Annette.
Today I wanted us to talk about how to stop putting off getting help.
Mm.
I know there's a lot of different reasons people have them, but at the end of the day, sometimes I feel like they're putting it off because they're looking for the right person, the right counselor, the right pastor to talk to, or whatever it is,
The right
the
time.
right time, the right finances. Um, and it would be like having a bad sliver in my finger. And I go to write something down, and you could see I'm favoring my finger. And you say, Annette, what's wrong? And I go, I got a sliver in my finger. I really don't have the time to take it out right now. And you could see the sliver sticking out too. And it's there, and my finger's red. And you're encouraging me, Annette, you really need to stop and take care of that. I will.
Yeah.
I'll do it this afternoon. I got some Epsom salt. I'm going to soak my finger. I know how to do it.
It'll be that fast
2 weeks
later.
later, you see me again. My finger now is 3 times the size.
Mm.
You're having me sign some paperwork, and I'm learning how to write left-handed now. And you say to me,
Annette,
what's
what
wrong
were
with
you
you?
thinking?
I haven't had a chance to do it. Annette, you're going to have to go to urgent care. It's beyond that at this point.
Yeah.
You can get a staph infection. You're trying to convince me with everything that's in you.
And try to
And
explain to you,
finally,
can't you
say,
see?
what is the reason? You said you were going to do this. You said, I just, Renee, I knew it was going to hurt.
Mm.
So you're like, well, it's going to hurt more now, but I'll drive you there. You're so serious. I'll drive you to urgent care right now, Annette. Forget about the paperwork you need to sign. I'll drive you there right now. And that's how I kind of feel, Renee, when I'm talking to people and their hearts are hurting. And they've been in this situation for years and years. This heart pain has been since they were 10 years old, or this
Yeah.
heart pain has been, and it's festering. And at certain times of years, especially after the holidays or during the holidays, it festers even more. And they have their
Yeah.
same reason, the same way I gave you with my finger. Don't got the time. But if I really worked it down long enough, it was I didn't want the pain of pulling the sliver. I was going to hurt. And it
Yeah.
was. But now it's festered so long and
Don't
so
want the
much
pain
stuff.
and don't want the time.
All of
Don't
that.
want the pain and don't want the time it's going to take to deal with it.
Plus, I don't want to accept the fact that it was so silly how I got the darn thing in the first place. Uh, just, it
Mm.
mounds up on top of it. And now I'm being short tempered with people that are around me because I'm hurting.
Mm.
I'm becoming less efficient with my work. I'm becoming emotional at times because I'm running a fever from the infection. You could see how it's starting to come. I'm being a more negative person. I find that if I drink wine, just little sips of wine throughout the day, it numbs the pain a little bit better than just taking Advil. Or if I take that pain medicine that I had left over from knee surgery, so I'm taking this other drug right now, and it takes away the pain from my finger. I still need to go get my finger taken care of, don't I, Renee? But I'm
Yes,
taking
ma'am.
drugs, I'm drinking wine. I find that if I go ahead and get on TikTok or YouTube and start watching some videos there about other people getting their finger taken care of, it makes me feel like I'm actually doing it. Don't knock that one. I know there's a lot of people that can relate, and that people watch a lot of organizational videos and they feel like they're actually accomplishing that in their home, and they haven't taken one step, put nothing in a box or a plastic tub or labeled anything. Okay, so don't even go there.
But it's in the dreams.
But uh, going to a counselor, going to a pastor, receiving that help, whether it's helping a hurt from your past or issues you're having with a relationship right now, if you're having a hard time saying no to something, or you're having anger issues, you can name it. You know, Renee, that going to get help from a counselor is just a positive thing. It helps you be more self-aware of maybe something you can't see.
Very, yeah. But
Because
sometimes people don't
eventually,
want,
what?
sometimes people don't want to have things revealed to them. That could be a fear of a why not to
Sure.
go get help. Because, well, what if they find something else? Which
Yeah.
excuse me for doing this, but I'm going to throw my husband under the bus. Okay. He's the one that would say, I'm not ever going to need, if I ever go to the hospital, they're going to keep me. That used to be his words. He has, up until a certain point, never need to go to the hospital for anything. You know, his doctor appointments always checked out. Eddie was great. I was the one with always the surgeries and, you know, eye surgeries and whatever. And his words used to be, if I ever go in, they'll never let me out. Because they'll probably find something after they go and check for one thing. They're going to find all these other things. So for some people, it's that thought of, well, if I go in for counseling for this one thing, the sliver, we'll call it that,
I get
you
now where you're
know,
going.
they're going to find that I got a broken this or I got a whatever that.
Well, and because Eddie wanted to stay in control, it made the delay happen, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Which might keep somebody up at night. So they're either getting too little sleep. They might even get too much sleep. They're sleeping too much now because they're depressed because the whatever it is.
Yeah.
I just want to encourage people that there are affordable ways. A lot of churches have you could start there at least. A lot of companies have employee assistant programs where it helps with the cost of it. It's worth asking.
Of the counseling.
And you can even check with your doctor on who they possibly could recommend. Of course, you and I would recommend Christian counseling because that's but otherwise, if I stay where I'm at, all I'm doing every single day is replaying the old videos in my mind of my past pain.
Yeah.
And me re-eating that same dish that makes me sad. How's that? So it's making my own torture situation continually happening and happening again and again, to the point where somebody said, I just can't find the right counselor in that and this and that. And I said, during the time I was looking, I guess it was 10 or 15 years ago, I was looking for a specific counselor for a specific situation, and I couldn't find him. And it wasn't easy to find for that specific situation. But I knew meanwhile, I needed to be talking with somebody until I did find them. So it wasn't an excuse, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so I did have pastoral care that was helping me. Did they know exactly how to help me in this specific situation? No, but they were there helping me try to find that specific counselor or help that was needed in that area.
Right.
Because otherwise I would have just stayed in that torturous situation, continuing to go down deeper and deeper, and it'd just be harder to climb out. It was to the point now when I talk to people, it's like, look, I'm here to give you a hand and pull you out, but you're saying no to everything because you want to be in control. And eventually you're the one who is holding on so tight to stay in the torture room of that life situation.
Yeah.
It's
like they've taken themselves to jail and walked in backwards and closed the door. It's like, but I like it here.
Yeah.
But then in the same breath, well, I don't like it here. I want to get out. Well, get out then. You're the one with the key.
I love that you say, well, he didn't want to go because, and he had his reason, right? He had a good reason.
Yeah.
But it would be the same as my finger if I had that sliver in me. Well, I don't want to go because it reminds me of the time when I tore my meniscus in my knee and I had
Okay.
to wear a little device on my leg and all of that kind of good stuff. And all of that's going on, and I'm going to have the surgery soon. Meanwhile, I'm having to favor my good leg a lot more. And eventually, because they had surgery put off for so long, it was like over a month, my other hip started hurting. My hip never hurt before. And now my hip's hurting, and it was all about my knee. So eventually, I started
Right.
having to use a darn cane and the darn brace, and then a walker in order to get around, in order to have times to take a break. Look at all those things that I would call crutches, when all I needed to really do in the end was get that knee surgery done so that
Yeah.
healing could begin. These other things that would happen in life, like starting to take drugs or drown myself into TV series so I could not feel the pain as much, or drink wine in the evening to help me relax. Those were all crutches that were developing in my life. Over
Yeah.
exercising, whatever you want to call it. If you're seeing that in your life, reach out, because you're in this torture room that you don't even see yourself in.
Yeah, some people think it's a great place to be because maybe that soother or the crutch, it's a treat. It's flavorful, it's food or it's ice cream or the chips or the alcohol and it's your favorite drink. You're treating yourself every night. But is that really treating yourself?
Is it becoming that crutch? Is it masking that
Yeah.
pain that you have? Because if it is,
Yeah.
that pain is not going away. It's only becoming deeper, larger, and you're
Mhm.
not even realizing it because it's taking more and more drugs. Look, I went from a knee brace to a cane to a walker before I had that darn surgery because
Yeah.
my knee was getting worse. There is a way to get help. We've suggested several different ways. I pray that you sit and you
Yeah.
be honest with yourself and say, I'm going to stop now, putting it off. And even if I just have to go ahead and message Annette and Renee or something and say, I'm going to go ahead and reach out to get help now. I'm going to make that first move. I'm going to make a statement saying, I want to put down my crutch. I don't know how to put down the crutch, but I'm ready to put down this crutch, because what I didn't realize was that it's tied to me now. I want to put down the crutch, but I can't walk without it. So it's actually tied to me. It's become a part of me.
Yeah.
And that's why you need to reach out for that help. And you need to reach out for help today.
No, not wait. Not make up all the reasons of why tomorrow is better or
Call your
why
health
next week.
providers, go to your church, talk to your pastor, whatever
Yeah.
it is, get directed so you can go ahead and receive that help. Like
Amen.
I told
Amen.
somebody, I've given you so many different ways. I gave them a list of references they can go with, and they said, none of them seem to, I'm not moved with their name. I just don't like this person's name, or I don't like the hours they are. And you might start, we've talked about it before, Renee, with a counselor and they're not a fit. Then you go to the next one. Eventually, there should be somebody that you're able to talk with and slowly move into a relationship with, that you can be honest with
And
and
don't
actually
quit.
respect what they have to say.
Yeah. Yeah. It's worth it. It's worth
Worth it.
the search. It's worth stepping out and taking care of yourself.
Thanks for talking to me about it today, Renee.
You're welcome. We wish you well, friends.